Highland Hill Farm has set forth a set of rules that would strictly limit access for studies, filming and photography on Highland properties by NBC News crews and Dr. Nancy Snyderman. These rules are intended to tighten restrictions on the NBC from entering Highland properties. A personnel permit for entry by each NBC employee can be obtained by applying for a limited access permit by sending a request for a permit to Highland Hill Farm at 5275 West Swamp Road, Fountainville, Pennsylvania 18923, and enclosing an application fee of $1 million. No application will be considered unless a full detailed letter explaining what the access will entail, date of entry, date of exit, and a biosecurity plan for pathogen control is enclosed. All employees must present a negative Ebola blood test that is not more than 12 hours old to verify they are not Ebola positive. The application shell is enclosed a $10 million bond to ensure that all of Highland's environmental regulations are followed. Further, all NBC employees must show proof of a current background check and proof they are covered by a workman's liability insurance policy. All employees of NBC must follow guidelines set forth under Highland Hill Farm's biosecurity plan and wear full protective suits to prevent contamination of Highland's properties. Any NBC employee who enters Highland's properties needs to have a separate vehicle entrance permit, which is available after obtaining a personal permit. All permit applications must include a sworn statement under penalty of perjury that all information is correct and signed by the applicant and his direct supervisor and the CEO of NBC. All applicants must personally agree in writing to be liable for any damages they incur while on Highland's properties and agree to a hold harmless clause that Highland drafts. Applications shall be reviewed within 6 months, and Highland reserves the right to extend the application review time for an additional 6 months. Under Pennsylvania Act 125 of 2010, NBC employees will face trespass charges and be responsible for any economic damages Highland incurs due to the failure to observe posted biosecurity measures or damages to Highland Hill Farm properties plus civil damages. Highland reserves the right to reject any or all applications for any reason.
The scariest means of transmission of Ebola is that it can be transmitted by mosquitoes, ticks, rodents such as rats and mice, as well as bats. When wild rodents become infected with Ebola, the transmission from ticks will increase dramatically, just as it has with Lyme disease. It's a arrivederci. It'll be in the food chain as well.
Mystery illnesses such as enterovirus 68 are rapidly emerging in towns and military bases housing undocumented immigrants. The CDC has outbreak specialists in places who are currently attempting to identify whether the causative agent is bacterial or viral. These illnesses are now appearing in communities near where the government is housing scores of illegal immigrants in detention centers. Sending your children to schools where illegal, undocumented immigrants are now being schooled can expose your children to scores of infectious agents. What can you do? Good hand washing, covering your cough, and not sending your child to schools can help prevent infection. In other words, homeschooling is a preventive option as there's no antiviral medicine for enterovirus 68 and no vaccine. Subsequently, avoiding exposure and washing hands is your children's only defense. Clearly, Obama is by overloading the government with financial demands and healthcare problems that cannot be met. This will collapse our society by creating chaos. Involve your family in activities that do not involve contact with those who may be infected. Outdoor activities such as gardening and landscape projects can be an alternative to contact sports. which easily transmit diseases. Building walls and evergreen screens will help families obtain more privacy and thus have less contact with neighbors. This will help reduce exposures by shielding contact family members. Great tree suggestions for fast-growing screening include arborvitae, cypresses, pines and spruce trees. The fastest and hardiest tree for northeast landscapes is the green giant arborvitae. Highland Hill Farm is a leading grower of green giants. Call for Green Giants Highland at 215-651-8329.